Welcome to Quotes Series Quotes About Life, Episode 2. Additional 65 inspirational life quotes for your daily motivation. And therein lies the whole of man's plight. Human time does not turn in a circle, it runs ahead in a straight line. That is why man cannot be happy, happiness is the longing for repetition. Milan Kundera. Art is to console those who are broken by life. Vincent van Gogh. As is a tale, so is life, not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. I wish you all very good lives. J.K. Rowling. Be happy, but never satisfied. Bruce Lee. Be the positive impact on the lives of others. Roy T. Bennett. But I have learned that you make your own happiness, that part of going for what you want means losing something else. And when the stakes are high, the losses can be that much greater. Emily Giffin. But if everything was always smooth and perfect, you'd get too used to that, you know? You have to have a little bit of disorganization now and then. Otherwise, you'll never really enjoy it when things go right. Sarah Dessen. Cinema is the ultimate pervert art. It doesn't give you what you desire, it tells you how to desire. Slavoj Žižek. Discipline your mind to think positively, discipline your mind to see the good in every situation and look on the best side of every event. Roy T. Bennett. Do not lose hope, what you seek will be found. Trust ghosts. Trust those that you have helped to help you in their turn. Trust dreams. Trust your heart, and trust your story. Neil Gaiman. Don't confuse poor decision-making with destiny. Own your mistakes. It's okay, we all make them. Learn from them so they can empower you. Steve Maraboli. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. Steve Jobs. Dreams don't work unless you take action. The surest way to make your dreams come true is to live them. Roy T. Bennett. Each affects the other, and the other affects the next, and the world is full of stories, but the stories are all one. Mitch Albom. Focus on your goals, not your fear. Focus like a laser beam on your goals. Roy T. Bennett. Hardships make or break people. Margaret Mitchell. He knew one of the women well, and had shared his universe with her. They had seen the same mountains, and the same trees, although each of them had seen them differently. She knew his weaknesses, his moments of hatred, of despair. Yet she was there at his side. They shared the same universe. Paulo Coelho. How terribly sad it was that people are made in such a way that they get used to something as extraordinary as living. Jostein Gaarder. How would your life be different if you stopped allowing other people to dilute or poison your day with their words or opinions? Let today be the day you stand strong in the truth of your beauty and journey through your day without attachment to the validation of others. Steve Maraboli. Human beings are not born once and for all on the day their mothers give birth to them, but life obliges them over and over again to give birth to themselves. Gabriel García Márquez. I am not the same having seen the moon shine on the other side of the world. Mary Ann Radmacher. I don't get it, Caroline said, bemused. She's the only one with wings. Why is that? There were so many questions in life. You couldn't ever have all the answers. But I knew this one, it's so she can fly, I said. Then I started to run. Sarah Dessen. I like the scientific spirit, the holding off, the being sure but not too sure, the willingness to surrender ideas when the evidence is against them. This is ultimately fine, it always keeps the way beyond open, always gives life, thought, affection, the whole man, a chance to try over again after a mistake, after a wrong guess. Walt Whitman. I seem to have run in a great circle, and met myself again on the starting line. Jeanette Winterson. If you don't know who you truly are, you'll never know what you really want. Roy T. Bennett. If you don't give up on something you truly believe in, you will find a way. Roy T. Bennett. If you need something from somebody, always give that person a way to hand it to you. Sue Monk Kidd. In all of living, have much fun and laughter. Life is to be enjoyed, not just endured. Gordon B. Hinckley. In the end, it wasn't death that surprised her but the stubbornness of life. Jeffrey Eugenides. Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's watching, and doing as you say you would do. Roy T. Bennett. It's worth making time to find the things that really stir your soul. That's what makes you really feel alive. You have to say no to other things you're used to, and do it with all your heart. Roy T. Bennett. Keep love in your heart. A life without it is like a sunless garden when the flowers are dead. The consciousness of loving and being loved brings a warmth and a richness to life that nothing else can bring. Oscar Wilde. Life is a journey. Time is a river. The door is ajar. Jim Butcher. Life is not a PG feel-good movie. Real life often ends badly. Literature tries to document this reality, while showing us it is still possible for us to endure nobly. Matthew Quick. Most everything you think you know about me is nothing more than memories. Haruki Murakami. No one should ever ask themselves that, why am I unhappy? The question carries within it the virus that will destroy everything. If we ask that question, it means we want to find out what makes us happy. If what makes us happy is different from what we have now, then we must either change once and for all or stay as we are, feeling even more unhappy. Paulo Coelho. People tend to be generous when sharing their nonsense, fear, and ignorance. And while they seem quite eager to feed you their negativity, please remember that sometimes the diet we need to be on is a spiritual and emotional one. Be cautious with what you feed your mind and soul. Fuel yourself with positivity and let that fuel propel you into positive action. Steve Maraboli. Perhaps I know best why it is man alone who laughs, he alone suffers so deeply that he had to invent laughter. Friedrich Nietzsche. Poetry is just the evidence of life. If your life is burning well, poetry is just the ash. Leonard Cohen. Some things you hear with your ears. Others, you hear with your heart. Sarah J. Maas. Take it moment by moment, and you will find that we are all, as I've said before, bugs in amber. Kurt Vonnegut. Taking pictures is savoring life intensely, every hundredth of a second. Mark Rebood. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Abraham Lincoln. The human race tends to remember the abuses to which it has been subjected rather than the endearments. What's left of kisses? Wounds, however, leave scars. Bertolt Brecht. The more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate. Oprah Winfrey. There is more to life than simply increasing its speed. Mahatma Gandhi. There was beauty in the idea of freedom, but it was an illusion. Every human heart was chained by love. Cassandra Clare. This isn't life in the fast lane, it's life in the oncoming traffic. Terry Pratchett. Though the road's been rocky, it sure feels good to me. Bob Marley. To look life in the face, always, to look life in the face, and to know it for what it is, at last, to love it for what it is, and then, to put it away. Virginia Woolf. To sell your soul is the easiest thing in the world. That's what everybody does every hour of his life. If I asked you to keep your soul, would you understand why that's much harder? Ayn Rand. Turn your obstacles into opportunities and your problems into possibilities. Roy T. Bennett. We choose our joys and sorrows long before we experience them. Khalil Gibran. We demand rigidly defined areas of doubt and uncertainty. Douglas Adams. We'd met at a carefree time, a moment full of promise, in its place now were the harsh lessons of the real world. Nicholas Sparks. When a man cannot choose, he ceases to be a man. Anthony Burgess. When life gives you lemons, chunk it right back. Bill Watterson. You are not the victim of the world, but rather the master of your own destiny. It is your choices and decisions that determine your destiny. Roy T. Bennett. You can live your whole life not realizing that what you're looking for is right in front of you. David Nicholls. You can't become a decent horseman until you fall off and get up again, a good number of times. There's life in a nutshell. Bear Grylls. You can't just plan a moment when things get back on track, just as you can't plan the moment you lose your way in the first place. Sarah Dessen. You don't have to like someone, but you have to treat them as you wish to be treated. Roy T. Bennett. You made me confess the fears that I have. But I will tell you also what I do not fear. I do not fear to be alone or to be spurned for another or to leave whatever I have to leave. And I am not afraid to make a mistake, even a great mistake, a lifelong mistake, and perhaps as long as eternity too. James Joyce. You were born with potential. You were born with goodness and trust. You were born with ideals and dreams. You were born with greatness. You were born with wings. You are not meant for crawling, so don't. You have wings. Learn to use them and fly. Rumi. You're both the fire and the water that extinguishes it. You're the narrator, the protagonist, and the sidekick. You're the storyteller and the story told. You are somebody's something, but you are also your you. John Green. Thank you very much for watching or listening. Quotes Series.